In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Hey, what's up, Noodle Dicks? Welcome to the program. It's Wednesday night. It's the last night. If you weren't here this morning, you night people have a lot of explaining to do. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you'll explain yourselves just fine. I don't know. But the morning show people got a wild hair up their ass today, and they pulled the trifecta. That's right. They knocked out what you came up short with last night. Today and tonight, they stole your overtime. That's right. The morning show audience stole your overtime. They're using it tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Now, the only way you can get it back, and this is, look, I know this is remarkably unfair. The only way you can get it back is to knock out theirs tomorrow, which is $50 higher than what it usually is for the nighttime. It's at $300. So they even got $50 into their tomorrow morning. They got $300 away from pulling the quad. So you guys have a chance to pull the quad tonight and steal your overtime back from the morning show people. Links are in the chat. You know the drill. Thank you guys very much for your generosity already. Adam gifting a membership. Matthew with $5 on PayPal says, would you please review the Trumpy Trout commercial on tonight's show? I think it will sell better than Billy Bass Mount singing thingy. I also think they should make a catfish Kamala. Full disclosure, I was never into the singing fish thing. I hated it, as a matter of fact. And yes, I remember what it was called, Big Mouth Billy Bass. If you had one in your home, fucking hang. Honestly, I hated that thing so much. We'll play that. And we'll also play the, what was the, oh, God damn it. What did he say? The Trumpy Trout or whatever? Yeah. I think we'll play the Trumpy Trout thing for Matthew Q. And then I don't know. And then we'll review it. But I'm really worried. I'm trying to look both of those things up right now as I speak, and I'm realizing that I'm sounding like a distracted retard. So let's show everybody the Big Mouth Billy Bass thing. If you don't remember this, I'm really sorry for introducing it to you. So 1999, it was a weird time. WCW was on the decline. Stone Cold Steve Austin was one of the biggest celebrities in the world. People were just starting to take Keanu Reeves seriously as an actual actor. And I believe Jennifer Lopez was the hottest woman on earth. So it was a different time. And there was this thing called Big Mouth Billy Bass. And Big Mouth Billy Bass was a plastic fish mounted on a plastic plaque that had a red button on it, and you'd push it, and the fish would sing and look at you. This was the height of toy technology in 1999. Every shitty Midwestern mom or dad had one of these in their house and loved it. Actually, Big Mouth Billy Bass was made famous on an episode of The Sopranos. Wasn't it the one where Pussy got killed? Was the Big Mouth Billy Bass episode the one where either Pussy got killed or the episode after Pussy got killed, Tony kept seeing Big Mouth Billy Bass as Pussy after he had killed him? It was one of the two. Somebody in the chat will remind me. Yeah, McBuster says Billy Bass and Big Pussy sleeps with the fishes. Okay, so it was the episode where Pussy got killed. Okay, so the Trump Trout thing I've never seen. I've never seen the Trump Trout thing, but this was Big Mouth.
Don't worry.
Oh, I forgot. He did more than one song. He did the Take Me to the River one. And then he did Don't Worry, Be Happy. Oh, real quick, before we show you this, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around like crazy this evening. Would anybody like to guess what tonight's beverage is? I'll give you a hint. I'm smiling and laughing at what you're going to guess, so it's probably going to be gay. What is Aaron drinking this evening as we go for the quad? Go ahead. I'll wait. Rumble's a little bit behind. I apologize. Okay, there they go. No, I'm not. No. I'm not drinking Gorilla Milk. And by the way, it's not Gorilla Milk. Johnny milks the cum from gorillas, and he sells it on the open market. It's not Gorilla Milk. It's Gorilla Cum. It's totally different. Thank you to Adam for gifting that Steel Toe membership. Let's bring DS up here. DS with $2 says, LOL, I live in SoCal, and we had one growing up. Okay, so it was coast to coast. And $2, he guesses mimosa. I mean, I would say mimosa is close. Mimosa is closer. Am I right? Can we? You guys are never going to hit goals in advance ever again if this is how it's going to be. Triple N guesses faggot Bloody Mary. Now, I don't call them that. MSO writes in all capital letters, cum. No, I am not. I just want to clarify, I'm not drinking cum this evening. Helgi says rum chata. No, it's not that gay. Jesus Christ. Celsius, no. McBuster guests your own breast milk. I am a man, and I do not have gigantic tits, and I can't produce breast milk. Rusty Grammar just wrote N-word jizz in the chat, and it fucked me up for a second. Fauci's Pangolin says, is it horse cum for Tim Walz? No, it is not horse cum. Atomic Ray arguing that harvesting the jizz from gorillas is still technically milking gorillas. All right, fine. Deutsch Chad says, where can I get some of the gorilla juice? Asking for a friend.
And there will be gorilla shit all over the Omni.
I love that with Johnny's new endeavor, we can play that Dusty Rhodes clip. And yes, it is a Bloody Mary for tonight. So when you, if you're listening audio only and you hear long periods of silence, nothing's wrong with YouTube. I'm just taking a sip. Got an ice cube. Halada Vagina said Schmidt's gay. One of the greatest SNL sketches of all time. That's a deep pull. DS with $2 says, duh, raging pussy juice. Oh, I think he means penis juice because he says, wait, that was Nick. Oh, because gay. Gay, I see. Gay is the joke. If you hear long periods of silence with slurping sounds, Aaron is sampling Johnny's monkey jizz, says Sam Show. Guys, look, these are all rumors. Don't believe them. 295 away from tomorrow morning and your guys' chance to pull the quad and steal their goal and their overtime. MSO says, I thought, MSO, you motherfucker. MSO is sitting at his phone or his computer right now going, be honest, MSO, did you go, I almost got him. Did you? Admit it. Admit it, and I will laugh my fucking balls off. Deny it, and I'll call you a liar. As I started reading that comment, did you go, oh, that fucking close. He says, no, really, sorry. Well, then you know what? I think you're a liar. Guys, do you think MSO's lying? Do you think he's lying? I think he's lying. Can I, you guys mind if I say something gay again? Real quick. this is not going to, look, hold on. Just stick with me on this one. This is a serious suggestion I have for you. You're going to thank me for it. The Bloody Mary with agave nectar for a rimmer before you put it in the bloody seasoning, fucking amazing. Ask anybody who I've made a bloody for with the agave nectar, which I think is just one person at this point, and ask them if it's not fucking delicious. It's incredible. Sam Show says a rimmer. Really, Aaron? What? I didn't say I wasn't going to make it easy on you. Jesus. McBuster says, now you're just baiting. Fuck, those are good. Can't help it. Taste Fairy Ialto says, more like agave nectar. Hey, come on, guys. This is immature. All right? Let's grow up. 383 Novocaine with $2. Says, how many tampons did you have to wring out for that? That is Bloody Mary mix. That is not menstrual blood, you pig. How many tampons did I have to wring out? As though if I made a drink from menstrual blood, I would do it secondhand from a wrung out tampon. You get it straight from the tap, you ass. Not that I would ever make a drink from. See, now I need a sip. Great Bloody Mary humor. Ready for this one? Andre the Giant. This is a real joke that he told. Or not a joke. This is a real thing that happened to Andre the Giant. Would you rather have me tell the Andre the Giant story, or would you rather have me play a clip of Bobby Heenan telling the story? I'm going to put this super chat up on the screen. Then you tell me if you want Bobby Heenan telling the Andre story or me. I'm not going to be offended. DS with $2 says it was the recusal J joke. Thank you, DS. Thank you. Fauci's Pangolin says, is agave nectar made in the bathroom at the gay 90s? I don't know. I don't think... I went in the bathroom at the gay 90s once. It was fucking disgusting, dude. It was really gross. Like I said, the karaoke room is fun. It really is. But the rest of it, it's I don't know if you know this or not. It's kind of gay. It's kind of gay. Be careful, Aaron. There's bears in those Minnesota woods. It's not menstruation. It's a Bloody Mary. There's no... All right. We'll play what's his name? Playing Bobby Heenan doing the thing. Nick the Milkman with $5 says, stop being gay and calling it a rimmer. Just put a straw in it and drink it. It's not that special. It's just another way to get drunk. And then spells out the gay F word. Thank you. I wonder if I have any straws. You know what? A straw would be a good idea. I should have checked for straws and then used one. Aaron's period. Oh, you know what? I think they are up where my drinking glass, where the whiskey glasses are and all that. I think I have straws there. I'll go grab one in a second. Aaron's period pill with $5 says, why is Lieutenant Dan sitting behind you? Huh? What? Got me. Shit. All right. That puts you guys $290 away from getting, 285 away from stealing your overtime back from the morning show crowd that hit the trifecta this morning and left you guys with the quad to finish up. Let's do the Bobby Heenan thing. Oh, hold on. DS with $2 says, come on, you're not getting it. Wait, F, is that N? I got it. Jew. You meant Jew, DS. You meant Jew. I understood. Bobby Heenan. Oh, no. You know what? I still haven't done the big mouth Billy Bass thing. Holy shit, is ADHD running rampant on tonight's show. Fuck. I can't get a hold of myself. So this was 1999. This thing was massive.
I want to know, can you help me? I love to stay, but take me to the river.
Get it?
Drop me in the water.
No, you don't get it. The fish is singing.
Take me to the river.
Because you push the button and it comes out
Put me in the water.
See? And then it's dancing with the tail, and then it's singing to you. It's brilliant.
Here's a little song I wrote.
No, but then he does a different song.
Sing it note
Ready?
for note. Don't worry.
But look, he's saying his mouth's moving with the words. No, guys, it's like the fish is
Be
singing.
happy now.
Okay, so that's that. Now we got, what did Matthew Q wanted me to play? Trumpy Trout? I'm going to hate this too. Real ad running on Newsmax.
A message from the 45th President of the United Ponds of America.
Let's make fishing great again, okay?
I fucking despise it.
He's here, everyone's favorite fish, Trumpy Trout.
No one has ever seen a fish like me.
Trumpy Trout is an animatronic talking fish with a big personality.
I am the hugely bigliest fish in the pond.
Watch his
This
fins
isn't-
flap and his large
This is a bit, right? Like, this is a gimmick. They're doing like a sketch. I mean, it's not a funny, it's a terrible sketch. But you're telling me, like, this is not real. If there's a way to order trumpytrout.com. If this is real and we can go online and order this, I'm going to be very upset. This is actually, Matthew Q, congratulations. You've made me angry.
largemouth move as he makes speech after speech in high-fidelity sound.
Some bass, a bad fish, crazy fish, criminal fish, and druggy fish. But some bass are good fish, and I only love some of them.
Mount him to your wall or use
Like, even if it's a comedy bit, I fucking hate it. It's not a comedy bit. I really hate it. If this is a thing you can actually buy, and if you go into someone's house and they have one of these, don't do anything to them. But if someone has one of these in their house and they single it out and show it to you and go, you're going to love this, hit them. Hit them hard. And hit them twice. One, I love you, still. And two, don't ever fucking do that again.
the built-in stand to display him proudly on your desk. Now you'll never miss a Trumpy Trout rally.
I'm building a new pond, and the bass will pay for it.
Set him to motion.
Get it? The bass are Mexicans in that joke? I would have thought maybe tilapia. What would be the Mexican fish? The American fish, I think, has to be like a walleye. Right? That's like a Midwestern salt of the earth. America. That would be America's fish. Mexico, sea bass. I don't like what the like. I don't know. I don't know what. It's not bass though. I don't know what they would. Oh, Gordy, thank you. I don't know what a There's got to be. What? There's got somebody look up the national fish of Mexico. Look at this. I got a straw now for my beverage. Now I don't have to take long breaks. I can just lick and suck. I really am making it way too easy for people, aren't I? You know what, though? Here's the thing with using the straw. It's not cold. It's not as cold when you use the straw. It didn't work.
To surprise his fans.
My fins are big. I have the biggest fins. No fish have fins like me.
Or turn him on and let his...
You see that? Did you see what that was in that commercial? That was the dad, the old middle-aged dad, showing his children like, all right, guys, come here. Dad, I got homework and I want to talk to my friends. I don't want to... I really don't want... No, guys, you just got to see. It talks like Trump. Yeah, Dad, we know. I got shit to do. I got a game tomorrow. If I don't get this homework done, they're not going to let me play the game. I really don't. No, watch. He's going to do the one about the Mexican bass. This is great. Come on.
Inspiring words delight the crowd.
All the fish love Trumpy. They just love me.
Catch Trumpy Trout for yourself or someone you love.
Oh, they can try.
Honestly, if a parent shows this to their children, I hope their children are wired like the Menendez twins. This is a murderable offense.
But they can't. They just can't.
Treat yourself to this limited edition Trumpy Trout for just $59.99.
Fuck off. Are you kidding me? $59.99 for a cock-sucking plastic fish. And by cock-sucking, I mean, look at the mouth. $59.99. Hey, don't you and your wife go out to a, decent dinner, like $60. I guess you got to have water, right? You're going to cover it for 60. But you can get most of the way to a nice dinner at $60. You can get 2/3 of the way there. For a fucking Trumpy trout? Even at $19.99, I'd slap the taste out of your mouth for buying it.
It comes with your official Make Fishing Great Again certificate of authenticity. Order right now and we'll instantly upgrade you to the deluxe version with desktop stand and Trumpy Trout jingle free.
Did he have the hair before? Oh, he did have the hair before. Okay, I was going to say, for $60, I don't get the hair.
Trout, without a doubt, the biggest fish.
And for even more fun, we'll give you a discount when you buy more than one.
We got the shoreline.
No way! Get the fuck out. It's raining deals. What did I do to deserve such generosity? And you, the fucking balls of including a certificate of authenticity with one of these. As though what? Somebody's going to make a knockoff version of this?
Not secure. No bass in this pond.
Supplies are limited, so don't miss your chance to hook the greatest fish of all time.
I am the greatest trout, and there is no doubt.
This is a limited edition
Guys, I don't know if you know that or not, but that one rhymed.
collectible from Top Dog Direct. Order now at TrumpyTrout.com. That's TrumpyTrout.com.
Fine, I'll say it so you don't have to. We don't deserve to hit a quad tonight. That's... Pakistan with 199 says, stop asking why this show sucks. Bring back Oz. I want to bring back Oz. Obviously, the show didn't suck today. We did a great job. Everybody seemed to really enjoy themselves. Holy shit, Matthew Q. I hope you're happy with yourself. I want to see what the audience thought of that. Chilean sea bass. Why would you? Okay, come on, guys. Put in some fucking effort. Chilean sea bass? Why would Chilean sea bass be the fish of Mexico? Work with me. McBuster says it's a square grouper. Dogfish? Why? McBuster says that's not a Trumpy trout. That's a pocket pussy. Come on. Yeah, what if they're just recycling fleshlights and making something out of them? Which, by the way, only serial killers should own fleshlights. Fleshlights are weird. Like, sticking your dick in just a weird latex cup kind of a thing is... Maybe I'm just old. And the pocket pussy, the fucking fleshlight thing came along when I was already, just a right-hand kind of guy. But I think using fleshlights is a sign that you might be a sociopath, serial killer, whatever. I'm not sure what. Fuck, those are good. Fauci's Pangolin. That's so fucking racist, I can't even read it. Helgi says, this is the gayest, cringiest thing I've ever fucking seen. Thank you, right? I felt like I was getting unnecessarily angry at it. Triple N says, buy in bulk and take advantage of the future scarcity. Right? Yeah. Oh, man. You better get all your Trumpy trouts now before everybody swoops in and gets them. You don't want the secondary market collectors cornering you, do you? You're gonna go on Marketplace someday, and they're gonna jack these up 300%. Kraken Slappin says, this is dumber than Trumpy Bear. Fuck you for making me curious about Trumpy Bear. I'm looking it up, and if it exists, I'm gonna be mad. Trumpy Bear. This isn't real. Fuck off. Are you kidding me?
The wind whispered through the forest. A storm is coming. You cannot defeat the storm. From the trees rose a resounding voice. I fear nothing.
Some would argue that it's a storm front. From the people who brought you Stormfront.org comes Trumpy Bear. It's a nation that should be white nationalist, folks.
Come when the trumpet sounds. I am the Storm, the great American Grizzly. Introducing the original Trump.
Hold on a minute. I'm going to have to disagree. This might be gayer than Trumpy Trout because they're trying to make this like, yeah, badass grizzly. Trump is like a marauding predator bear, and here's a teddy bear for you. I hate this. I hate that they're trying to do this seriously.
Trumpy Bear, the fearless, super plush American grizzly. Trumpy Bear was born June 14th, Flag Day. Just find the secret.
Of course. Trumpy Bear was born on Flag Day. Here you go, retard Trumpers. Open your assholes so we can pour fake patriotism into it. There you go. He was born on Flag Day, not Cinco de Mayo like a liberal. He was born on January 6th like the Patriots. I officially hate this more than the fish.
Pull out the flag blanket, then wrap yourself.
A flag blanket? Suck my nose. No. What is the bear is like a babushka doll for other shit? Hey, you want to fucking here reach in his back and there's an American flag. Reach in his toes and there's a nail file so you can shank your celly. Hey, if you reach into his left paw and tap 3 times on the fingernail that we've got there, it opens up and what do you have? Oh, it's a Make America Great Again enema and you can clean out your asshole for your next big date. I unreasonably hate this thing, and I'm mad that someone in the chat said that the fish was worse than Trumpy Bear because he knows that I was going to look up Trumpy Bear, and I hate him for it. Because the only reason he did that is because he saw it, he thought it was cringe and terrible, but he couldn't be alone, and he had to put us through it. Fuck off. I can't wait to get to Lieutenant Dan today. If you guys don't know about Lieutenant Dan, he's like the coolest guy in hurricane history, and we've got like 5 videos. There's a guy in Florida, and he's literally riding Hurricane Milton out. Riding it out in his boat. He refuses to fuck off. He refuses to go away. He's insane, like he's a psychopath, and he's remarkably mentally ill and probably needs serious psychological help. But we're all just sticking cameras in front of his face and going, oh, this guy rules. And we should probably find him a doctor, but, you know, fuck it. Let's see what happens.
In the red, white, and blue for comfort and warmth. Show your patriotism and proudly display Trumpy on Flag Day and on any American holiday. Trumpy can even
right, but
honor
not on Romanian National Independence Day like a fucking traitor. Ugh. Proudly display Trumpy Bear. Don't ever proudly display Trumpy Bear. Like the real hardcore Trump people, I wish I could find a way to make them understand that they're just not, like, they almost hold Trump back as much as like liberals who hate and lie about Trump do. Because like the really hardcore Trump people, they're hard to relate to because it's all just Trump. Like if the Trump people were more like, say, I don't know, pick a random person, me. And they were like, look, he's not the smartest guy in the world. He's not the greatest pick we've ever had for president. I'd say Washington was probably a little better. But, you know, judging by what the options we have and the times we live in, he's probably the best choice. But no, they're just like, yeah, when fucking John F. Kennedy comes back and the Dunn babies and blah, blah, blah. By the way, I had a friend of mine meet my uncle who talks about the Dunn babies and all of that stuff. And when my friend met my uncle, they're talking, and he's like, oh, yeah, the Dunn babies, they're used so that the rich people can stay young, and Michael Jackson's helping rescue the Dunn babies. And instead of, like, just going, fine, my friend, she starts fucking going like, oh, yeah, and they can harvest the babies for, like, their adrenochrome, and if they traffic them, then the stress hormones get more powerful, and then they have more adrenochrome, and then the rich old people can use that to keep themselves young. And he's like, yeah, you know about that? And I'm like, oh, my God, you've just made a best friend for the next 4 hours. And sure enough, next time I go to the lake, my uncle goes, hey, where's that friend of yours? They understood all the Dunn baby shit. Thanks.
your own family heroes.
God bless America, and God bless Trumpy Bear.
Trumpy Bear sits proudly at the front of the motorcycle for all the world to see.
God. If you are a motorcyclist and you have Trumpy Bear on the front of your bike, I hope you get sideswiped and have to lay your bike down in a culvert.
Loves to cruise with his brother.
Hope you're wearing your fucking Guardian belt, Jack.
Former Marine, and I'm proud to have Trumpy Bear ride by my side.
You know how I know he's lying? There's no such thing as a former Marine. Am I right? Hoorah. Hey, Marines don't die. They just go to hell and regroup.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Then why'd you say former? See, I think this guy might be, is he stolen valoring? He said, I'm a former Marine. Never a former Marine.
Everyone knows Trumpy Bear loves to go to the golf course.
When I ride with Trumpy Bear, he makes my golf game great again. Thank you, Trumpy Bear.
Simply.
Well, guess what? You're schizophrenic. Congratulations. I've diagnosed you. I got to go through some of these super chats before they disappear. Adam with $2 says, pay the gay away. DS with $2 says, and then they see to Alex Jones. Go bye-bye with $1.99 says, shitty show costs nothing. F you, stop lying. Right? This costs something, but I'm paying the price too. Stop lying. No, what you're supposed to say is you're bullshit lying, fuck off. That's your line.
Style his trademark hair and place him in his favorite chair. Even the toughest guys will love Trumpy Bear.
When America is great.
No, they won't. They'll reject Trumpy Bear. All right, guys, get ready. How much is Trumpy Bear going to cost?
Business is great. When business is great, I am great. I love you, Trumpy Bear.
I am an Army veteran. I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear.
Get the fuck out of here. Did you see that? This is not a real person. This is a guy playing a character. You're telling me that the Army veteran's name is Frank Warholic. I don't believe any of this horse shit. Frank Warholic. What? I'm sorry, was the name Steve Killaslant taken? Like, what the fuck? Frank Warholic? I'm supposed to buy that? You know, of the Pennsylvania Warholics.
I'm proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Order the Super Plus Trumpy Bear for only 2 payments of $19.95. And
you have to put a Trumpy Bear on layaway? Stop it. We're taking away your internet. $40. This one doesn't even talk. At least the other one, you know, did a really, really shitty Trump impression.
And receive a special certificate of authenticity. Don't miss out on owning a piece of American history. Order now for only 2 payments of $19.95. Trumpy, the most fearless bear anywhere. Order now.
I'm pretty sure Cocaine Bear is way more fearless than Trumpy Bear. Well, there it is, guys. Thanks, Matthew Q. Did you get your $5 worth from all this shitty Trump merchandise? I'm glad. I'm glad. $40 fucking dollars for that. $40. Helgi says, I have an Imholty bear that is used as a voodoo doll. Ow, my fucking ribs. Mega is bigger and deeper than you know. Yeah, like a gaping gay asshole. Yeah, people are pointing out in the chat, his name is Warholic. Stop. Crack and slapping. This guy has a gay shirt like you have. Golfing attire really makes man boobs pop out. There's nothing wrong with golf clothing. It's fashionable. It's airy. It's masculine. Chesty Puller was taken. Andy Warholicksky, axe-wielding maniac, says Sam Show. Aaron, internet buys your Trumpy Bear. Shut the fuck up. I'm not. No, nobody here is buying a Trumpy Bear. Kraken Slappin' says it has a flag blanket. That's cooler than a singing trout. I'm going to call it a draw. Buffalo Jockey says, was Cocaine Bear your lover's nickname for Nick? Oh, fuck. J. Brock Contrarian says, Aaron only sucks dick for sport. He has never once charged and he never will. The man has principles and principles. 09 Canyon says, but that flailing arm of yours knows no masculinity. Sam Show sent us a link. Ken Ashcorp, Adam Worski. No relation to the man absolutely clattered by Jollibee rep Salt Poppy. Oh, they making fun of Andy Worski. That's not very nice. I like Andy Worski. I like Ashton. I like Kino Casino. I think they have zero fucking respect for me. But why would you? When you only know me from the fucking, foibles of the last year. Funeral director with $2 says, can we listen to Oogie Boogie Little Girls again? It's Oingo Boingo and never. DS says he's Trumpy Grumpy. What did you expect? I just hope that that's the end of any Trump-related stuffed animal merchandise. Yeah, that's it. That's all I want to know. Fauci says Sid Bloody Caesar. Yeah, I have a question for you. What's the difference between a Bloody Mary and a Caesar? Because I see the mixes in the liquor store. I get my Bloody Mary mix, and then it says Caesar mix. And then in Letterkenny, they always tell me you can't see a Caesar and not want a Caesar. What is the difference between a Bloody Mary and a Caesar? There it is, first one. The main difference between a Bloody Mary and a Caesar is the juice base. Bloody Marys use tomato juice, while Caesars use clamato juice, combination of tomato and clam juice. Nah, I'm gonna stick with the bloody, thanks. So delicious. You know, the only thing about a good spicy Bloody Mary is it heats you up. You know? Gets you a little warm. Which is supposed to be good for you, I guess. I read a thing on Google yesterday that said Bloody Marys were good for you, so I just ran with it. Funeral director with $5. Warholic was an honored Vietnam vet and VFW postmaster who died years ago. Glad you spoke some good words in his memory, bud. Oh, no. Was he real? Shit. I'm sorry, Mr. Warholic. Was it Fred Warholic? No, it wasn't Fred Warholic. I hope that you're lying, because otherwise I'm going to feel like a giant piece of shit. Buddy, thank you for that. We are 270 away from hitting the quad tonight. We've already knocked out tonight. Actually, the morning show did. They stole your overtime. So now, in order for you guys to get your 30 minutes, you have to steal their overtime, which is 270 away. And it would mean we hit the quad today. I think the third time we'd hit the quad. McBuster says, Kino Casino is okay, but that jiggly obese guy is so creepy. I lose the plot looking at him frolic, and he only has one impression voice. That's not true. He has the Ethan Ralph voice. Suffocate. I like it. I think they're both talented guys. Speaking of talented guys on the internet, I finally listened to Meme Copium's the timeline. You know, he went over the Kiwi Farms degeneracy timeline. I watched Meme Copium's thing while I was on the golf course, and it was great as usual. Josh does an awesome job. I have one problem with Meme Copium. And I don't know, like, am I a dick? Is it too familiar to call him Josh? Or like, I feel like I should call him Meme Copium. I feel like Josh is too familiar. Meme Copium, there's only one thing that fucking rattles me and I can't get over. And if I think about it too much, I'm like, I can't fucking do this. I can't listen right now because now that's in my head. And it's something to do with his voice. I want to see if anybody else has the same issue with Meme Copium, the voice thing. He sounds like somebody, and when I hear it, I can't get it out of my fucking head, and I go, I got to take a break. I can't. He sounds like somebody, and it's kind of an obscure, older internet personality that people may not remember anymore, but it fucks me up every time I hear it. By the way, Levy Time writes, I want to hear how much you love Kevin again. Kevin Brennan's fantastic. How do you not love Kevin Brennan? He's always been incredibly nice to me. He's always been really kind. And he's always been a great show host when I've been on. And he pays better than anybody, better than me. I love Kevin Brennan. I think he's great. All right, nobody got it. Fucking Meme Copium sounds like Stefan Molyneux, and I can't get it out of my head. Like, if you remember, like, old, like, 2015, 2016 internet, like, early days of, like, MAGA and MRA shit, this Stefan Molyneux was like the snake in Robin Hood who had the swirly eyes and would hypnotize the king. Stefan Molyneux would start talking about, like, maybe you need to divorce your parents. Maybe you need to get away. I can't do the fucking voice. It's terrible. But he'd like talk about this just wild shit about disassociating from your family. Basically a cult leader. But he made some decent documentaries like on the Crusades and shit. And Meme Copium sounds just like Stefan Molyneux. And if I get that in my head, I got to take a break. Sam Show says, I completely forgot about Mala Meme. Yeah, well, or Mala Meme. But Meme Copium has a great channel. Go subscribe to it. I'm watching his coverage of the degeneracy timeline. And I was teeing off on like the 7th or 8th hole. It's par 5. And Meme Copium starts talking about me. And he goes, Aaron, and I'm sorry, I'm about to do a terrible impression. He goes, Aaron said that I don't like him, and he doesn't know why I don't like him. I don't not like Aaron. And I'm like, I'm listening, and I'm like, you're doing that thing where you know you're not watching it live, and you know the person can't hear you, but I'm yelling, I'm like, I don't think you don't like me. I don't think you don't like. When I was talking about that on the show the other day, I was being silly. I was being funny. And I wasn't saying Meme Copium doesn't like me. It was more like, I like Josh from Meme Copium doesn't know me, and he has no reason to have any affinity for me, and he just sees me as somebody who can be mocked and made fun of. That's what I meant. If it came off as, I think Meme Copium doesn't like me, I felt so bad. Because like Aaron says, I don't like him. It's not that I don't like him or do like him. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm full of shit. I'm talking shit on my show. It's not. So no, and he made a great point. He's like, look, all I know about Aaron is what's in the police reports and what's in all the other things and all the online things, and I don't like those things. I'm like, yeah, of course I don't like those things that are in there. Like, of course, I don't want anyone to judge me from like, well, I've read police reports about him. Of course, like you read police reports about anybody, you're going to think they're an asshole. But he's like, well, maybe if I met him in real life, maybe it would be different. Of course it would. If I was like this 24 hours a day, I wouldn't expect to have any friends. I would, I hope all these guys come out. If there's like a trial and we really do the Stonies thing, I hope they all come out. I would love to have a beer with all these guys and not do the gay internet shit. But I think Meme Copium is great. I think he's awesome. I don't think he hates me. I don't think he dislikes me. I talk a lot of shit on the show, and then I forget that people can hear it and they might take it seriously. And that's my biggest problem about the internet. See, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday who was an internet personality who came from television. And I'm an internet personality who came from radio. And we were both talking, and internet people don't understand this, and they never will. Real broadcasters that like came from a broadcasting background, like we're full of shit and we're performers and everything else. And what we don't realize is all these internet people take shit way too seriously. Like they live and breathe the internet, where broadcasters do their broadcast, fuck off and go home, live their life. We make the mistake of forgetting that people on the internet take shit seriously and they tend to think you're serious. I'm frivolous. I just run my mouth. And it's just like, blah, I throw it out there. I leave it there. I walk away. I don't think twice about it. And then I don't realize that internet people then take that, clip it, and then watch it 900 times and go, he moved his left pinky this way when he said, but I think that means he didn't mean it and he's being disingenuous and he's scared. And you're like, I was just talking a bunch of shit. That's all I was doing. So no, I don't. I like Meme Copium. I think he's great. I watch most of his shit. And if Josh is watching, or if Alyssa Clips is clipping this, Mr. Copium, I don't think you hate me. And if you judge me based on the worst shit that's out there on the internet, then of course there's no way you'd think I was a good guy. So I don't hold anything against you. I used to talk shit on the radio all the time, and like nothing ever came back to me about it. Like you could just trash another radio broadcaster and you'd never hear about it. That radio broadcaster would be like, yeah, that guy fucking hates me, or he thinks I hate him, or blah, blah, blah. It was all just part of the show. It was all just part of the prestige. But internet people take it all really fucking seriously. And then Meme Copium made a great fucking point. He was going through the timeline and he interjects and goes, perhaps Aaron shouldn't have any more female co-hosts. Female co-hosts don't tend to work out for the toe. Perhaps we should not have any more female co-hosts. And I'm like, you know what? The guy's got a great point. They're not particularly good. They're expendable. We clearly get along without them. And they don't seem to really be a value added in terms of reputation. Go Bye-Bye says, Aaron, what's more fun, choking or punching women? I don't do either of those things. Remember, I'm a headbutter. Oh, yeah. Women never lie because they can't admit fault of their own. It never happens. Let's go to Funeral Director. He says, can you play some Cyrax clips? Lol cow from Akron. I don't know. I don't feel like taking other people's lol cows and shit and like making fun of them because like I don't have a connection to them. It feels weird, like I'm just grifting. If I'm going to grift, I'm going to tell you right up front that I'm doing it. DS with $2 says, put the lotion on the skin, Aaron. Or else what? I get the hose again? Thank you, buddy. 265 away from the quad. Thank you guys very much. Sam Show says, if Meme Copium is watching, say only 6 left. I don't watch him enough to know what that means. Only 6 left. He says, I promise you it'll make him laugh. McBuster says, Mr. Sen has a good video about Nick and Patrick Melton and their alliance. Yeah, I've been seeing that stuff. I haven't watched the Mr. Sen video, but both of them have been getting fucking dragged hard. As they should. I mean, one of them sexually harasses a little girl, and that's fucking disgusting. And then the other one is like his pay pig now. Which is, I mean, you talk about a fall from grace. It's really sad. But like a father of 5 that pay pig's a guy who sexually harasses little girls. Dude, like it's like, could you keep making mistakes? Like how many more mistakes can you make? How much more of a piece of shit can you make yourself look like? You make yourself look like such a piece of shit. People don't even have to respond to you. They just have to point at you and go, right? He does that. And like, to a guy who sexually harassed a little girl that you knew, that you've met, that you've spent time with before. I mean, you didn't leave cocaine next to that one, so you treated that one like halfway decent. Yeah, I guess each of our daughters, like Nick, kids and cocaine don't really mix. He's got his daughter tested positive for it, which nobody should ever forgive him for. And he left a vial, a little bullet of cocaine next to my baby girl when I told him to keep that fucking shit out of my house. So I guess, you know, I think the Candy-Ojai County Police Department would agree. Nick needs to work on not maybe gun control, but also cocaine control. Just a little bit. But as far as Mr. Sen goes about his video about Nick and Patrick and their alliance, yeah, that's I mean, that speaks for itself, and that's 2 sinking ships teaming up together, and they certainly don't make either one of them doesn't look better for it. It's really bad. McBuster says, wonder how that looks to the court, Nick funding an obvious threat to children. I mean, it's between him, the courts, and God, I would guess. McBuster says Nick is a real piece of Nepo kid, self-entitled, boring, trendy, hipster shit. Well, yeah, and he's got the classic affluenza Arrested Development. He's stuck in a 14-year-old try-hard nerd, like, sex pest's body. And it's unfortunate because, like, dude, you're in your fucking 40s. It's like, it's over. It's fucking over. All right, let's move on. Let's continue. So, yeah, I thought Meme Copium had a couple of really good ones during his show. Speaking of good ones, Danny Polachuk is on fire with these AI videos lately. Oh my God. He has been fucking crushing it with these AI edits. You remember the one he did with Jake Tapper? I think it was Jake Tapper and Israel hiding bombs in the rectums of goats so that when Islamists or terrorists or whatever would fuck a goat in the ass, the bomb would go off. But yeah, that whole thing. Well, now he did one with Howard Stern and Kamala Harris. And this is, holy shit, is he? You can tell, A, that he's having fun with it, and B, that he's really good at it. Quick text coming in. Got rid of the Dixie Cup shirt I see. Was that necessary? Was it necessary? I ask you. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. This is, I think, Danny Polachuk's latest. It's an AI edit of the Howard Stern Kamala Harris interview, and I just think it's brilliant. First, before we get to anything else, DS with $5 says, y'all stop being a bunch of hotel twisters. We got serious business. 5-1, Stuttering John doesn't run out of beer through the Milton. Want in? Are people really doing the Stuttering John grift still? I think Kiwi Farms has it right. The Dabbleverse is just, it's boomer bullshit. And it's kind of like, to everyone who's not like Dabbleverse involved, it's what I've been saying about it for years. Kiwi Farms is like, yeah, just from the outside, it looks sad. Like from the inside, all these guys think they matter and they're all fighting over the same like 1,500 people. And from the outside, everyone's just going, this is fucking retarded. Aaron's period pill with $5 says, I sent you a link on Messenger. Check it out. You will love it. All right, we'll check it out. I think we're 255 away from you guys hitting the quad today. Now, your goal has already been knocked out. Don't worry about it. But that does mean the morning show gets your overtime. If you want it back, 255 away from stealing the morning shows back from them. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, etc. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, Josh Denny went live right before Steel Toe. What the fuck? Is this war? I can't go to war with Josh Denny. He said some very true things. He gave us warnings about the direction of this show, and I did not listen. So I think Josh Denny deserves a he was right kind of a deal. What does he do? Big Uglies podcast. Josh Denny, for watching. You know what we should do? We should raid Josh Denny's podcast after we're done, if he's still on tonight. DS with $2 says, only one dumb enough to go for it. Wait. Oh. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Rusty Grammar says, Fat Trick Meltdown is now category 5. Hide your kids, Floridians. All right, let's do this Danny Polachuk thing. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you. This is the Danny Polachuk AI Howard Stern Kamala Harris interview.
Here with the soon-to-be first black and female president in U.S. history, Kamala Harris.
We haven't won yet, Howard, but thank you.
You ever see that video I did with Sherman Hemsley?
Which one?
Right away, Danny goes right to the fucking blackface thing.
What was that?
I did blackface. Not the Justin Trudeau kind either. Al Jolson style. The full thing, and Sherman playing my wife, and I was dropping N-bombs left and right. What I'm getting at is I love black people, and I'm excited to have one as the next president.
Well, the ones that only know you from America's Got Talent love you too.
The black people, that's true. The black people who know Howard Stern only from America, because once he did America's Got Talent, he stopped being Funny Howard. He was like safe, America's old crotchety neighbor, Howard Stern. Once he got that America's Got Talent. That's the shittiest thing we learned about Howard, is that he always wanted to be accepted mainstream. And like the rest of us garbage people that he used to entertain, we were just like, he would just take it. He's like, well, I guess I'll appeal to these fucking people. I really want to be in there with them. He wasn't trashing Hollywood because he was just like us. He was trashing Hollywood because he was bitter that he wasn't a part of it. And then as soon as they came calling, all of a sudden he likes Ellen DeGeneres and her dancing. He loves Oprah. He's apologizing to people. I love that he tried to apologize to Tom Bernard here in Minneapolis. Howard tried to come to the Minneapolis market, and Tom Bernard beat him. Tom Bernard was one of the highest rated single market morning shows in the country. And Howard came in, and, you know, we should have Bernard on. I know he does a podcast now, and we could help promote it. I'd love to have Tom on for like an hour and just shoot the shit about radio. I think that would be a fun one to do. Even if we went live and did it like off hours. I've talked to Tom on the phone before. He's a really great guy. When I got in trouble once and almost canceled for something, Tom called me. Didn't have to. Tom got my phone number. He called me and he gave me a bunch of advice, and it was really nice of him. I mean, if I was talking to him now, he'd go, yeah, did the advice take? And I'd be like, no, but it was nice that you did it. But Howard came in and he did the whole funeral bit. And, you know, like went through the streets of Minneapolis with the coffins, and we're going to bury Tom Bernard. And Bernard beat him. And Howard left the Minneapolis market after Tom Bernard beat him. And then Howard, years later, I guess, called to apologize to Tom Bernard. And Bernard was like, no, I'm not interested. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need any fucking closure from you. I like that.
I have always had a soft spot for black women. That's why I keep Robin around. You know what a Sibian is?
What's that?
It's a vibrating saddle. You just sit on it and get off. Remember in Private Parts when I got that chick to ride the speaker?
You used to be funny, Howard. I remember.
You know what's great about that? The Private Parts scene with the girl in the speaker. I could be wrong. I mean, if you want to find documentation and prove me wrong, that's fine. That never happened. There's a lot of things about Private Parts that Howard put in there that he wanted to become like part of his lore. And I don't know about how real it was.
Remember that.
I know, and now I do shit like this. Want to try it? We can get your Secret Service guys to bring some speakers in. You know how low my voice goes? I bet I can get you off in 90 seconds.
I'm running for president. That's probably not the best idea.
How big is Doug? Guy looks like he has a hammer on him. It's never the ones you expect. Wow. 8? 10?
Howard, you know I can't say, but it's more than enough for me.
Wow. A real size queen.
See now, Danny Polachuk's AI Howard Stern Kamala Harris interview is more interesting than the actual Howard Stern Kamala Harris interview. We're going to play a clip on tomorrow's show from that interview where Howard Stern said something like Donald Trump shouldn't be allowed on TV shows because it's dangerous how much he lies or something. I'm like, are we really banning politicians from shit because they lie? What a fucking pussy Howard is. Howard back in the day would have been like, we're going to have Howard on, or we're going to have Trump on, and we're going to fight. We're going to fucking go at it.
Heard it here first.
They don't call him the tripod for nothing.
I can tell I'm making you uncomfortable. I'll stop. One last question. Are you wearing panties right now? My bet is you aren't.
Howard, of course I am. With the amount of whores that have sat on this couch, I'd catch something if I didn't.
Speaking of catching something, I'm still so worried about COVID.
See, the funniest part of what Danny's doing here is that the funniest parts aren't even jokes. I bet if you asked Howard, he'd watch that part. If you just showed him that part of the video, he'd be like, no, I probably actually said that. I am still terrified of COVID.
Really ever leave my house?
Really? Don't you wear a mask all the time?
Yeah, I wear it everywhere. And I still managed to get COVID earlier this year.
You wear a mask everywhere? That's retarded. Even Joe Biden.
I might vote for her if she talked like that.
and doesn't wear a mask all the time.
I've had 14 COVID shots too. Do you think all those shots made me not funny anymore?
I've never heard of that being a side effect, but it would explain some things.
Well,
yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah. But the problem is, Howard stopped being funny long before COVID. Like when he started renaming his cast members because the names were insensitive. Like, what was it? Gary the Retard became Gary the Conqueror. Eric the Midget became Eric the Actor. So, did Wendy the Retard become something else? Just maybe she was probably just Wendy.
The show hasn't been good long before COVID happened.
Yeah, what happened? The old you would be disgusted with what you have become.
I went to Epstein Island a few too many times.
Really? So they don't even protect their own, huh? Like you still have to be a slave to their agenda, even if you're a Jew and you go to Epstein Island. That sucks. Howard, he's dead. He can't hurt you anymore.
How many times did you go?
57. So now I have to shill for the Democratic Party. Otherwise, all the tapes will come out.
That actually explains a lot. You just need to be unburdened by what has been.
It's easy for you to say. Hillary Clinton texts me every day telling me I'm a dead man if I don't do what she says.
Who even listens to this show anymore?
Honestly, I don't think anyone. The media props me up to make it seem like people still listen, but have you actually met a single person that says they listened to the show in the last...
That's a great point. I haven't met anyone who says they still listen to Howard Stern. And like that's central Minnesota, so that doesn't mean that nobody's listening, but it's a pretty good indicator that that audience has left.
10 years?
When they told me I was coming on, I was surprised. I didn't know this show was on the air still.
I should have never gone to that island.
Subscribe to Danny Polachuk, youtube.com/Danny Polachuk. There it is on the screen. Follow Danny on Twitter, Instagram. If he's in your town, go see Danny Polachuk do comedy. The guy's fucking hilarious. Great job. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $2 says, I'm one of the 4 watching Josh Denny, and I'm the only one commenting. Oh, man. Where's Josh's channel? Where's his podcast?
Yeah, it's like 3 hours, and then I never... And then
This is weird. Why does he have a co-host who looks like Patrick Melton? That's odd. 3 people watching him. Well, I will say this. Josh Denny gave some good advice to this program that I did not take that would have helped immensely long term. And shit. You know, live and learn, I suppose. All right, we got a few other things to get through. We got to get to what's his name? Oh, the guy, Lieutenant Dan, riding out the hurricane in his fucking boat. I love this guy. We got a bunch of videos on him coming up. We've got about an hour left in the show. If you're just joining us, the morning show stole your guys' overtime today. They knocked out 3 goals in one show. And so now for the 300 plus of you that are watching right now, we got a show that goes till 9, unless you guys complete the quad, which is unfair. 255 away from the quad. We had you at 3-something at the beginning of the show. So the morning show kind of fucked you on that one. MSO says, used to listen to Stern in the morning drive, O&A in the afternoon ride home. Great time. It's hard to say that wasn't the golden age of radio. Or, maybe we're just calling it that because we were, growing up. Packerbacker says Lieutenant Dan bailed. Really? Lieutenant Dan bailed on the hurricane. Shit. But like if you were in New York or any of those markets, you had Howard Stern in the morning, you had Opie and Anthony in the afternoon. Minnesota had really good radio and still does in a lot of places. There's nothing really to listen to in the morning, but I think Minnesota has one of the best sports talk markets in the country. I think Minnesota does a really good job with sports talk and news talk. They don't do too bad either. Music, does anybody, listening to the radio for music, I don't really know if anybody does that anymore, but like, as far as good morning shows go, you got to bring me back. I could rescue it. I could save it. I saved it here. I rescued it in St. Cloud. Nobody was fucking listening to the radio. Young people especially. Our 18 to 34 numbers were fucking mental. 18 to 34, we had 30 shares in St. Cloud. That means of the radios that were on, 30% of them, ages 18 to 34, were tuned into Steel Toe. That's an insane number. Probably more, too, because, you know, you got people on the job sites and stuff, multiple people listening. I would say reality, if it was 18 to 34 and you were listening to the radio, I would say probably every other person, 18 to 34, was listening to Steel Toe. It was, dude, we were putting 300-400 people in at comedy shows. It got weird. Bigger than any of these internet guys do. Like any of these internet guy, like little half-ass festivals they put on, we put them to shame. I mean, we're still doing 150 or 200 at Stoney's for the anniversary show, but dude, compared to like the heyday of radio, fucking hell. I remember our biggest attendance, we put 515 or something at the Little Falls Ballroom. That was the wildest one. Adrian was there. Zach was there. I don't think Corey was there yet. But Adrian and I were there, and we had one other person performing with us. And when we got there and the fucking line was around the building, we were like, this is going to be a fun show. And we got fucking hammered. That was like the best part of those Steel Toe comedy shows. When Zach would come out, Adrian was there, Whiskey Pete would come out, Corey, Johnny, Oz would come out, Matt would be there sometimes, and we just get fucking shit-faced after these comedy shows. God damn, were they fun. Who knows? Maybe sometime down the road. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $2 says, okay, Denny is done. Let's start the show. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan, $2 again, says everyone is jealous of Stern's wealth, success, and talent. New Stern rules. McBuster says, Aaron, I scored 4 touchdowns in high school once. Stephen King says none of them showed up last time. Whiskey Pete was there and Matt was there. I got half of them. And Johnny. Oh, I got 3/5. I got 3/5 of them. Suck it, Stephen King. Chad Buzamok says, I agree. O&A channel was great with Apollo, Voss and Bonnie, Norton, and of course the O&A show. All that shit left when Sirius started taking down the right-leaning shows for fear of backlash. That wasn't it. That's not why Sirius started taking those shows down. Sirius was bleeding money. Sirius was losing shitloads of money. Now, like I remember when we applied to be a show on Sirius back when we were on radio to get us on there too, we could have gotten on Sirius XM. The problem was you had to pay to be on. Like Sirius was so devoid of content, but they couldn't afford to pay any new shows. So they were like, do you want to be on? We'll charge you monthly to be on Sirius XM, and you can sell your own advertising on your show. And needless to say, when our front office got that offer, they were like, yeah, fuck that. No way. It's just the way their business model is. I mean, Sirius XM is more of a dead technology than terrestrial radio is. When satellite first came around, people were like, oh shit, this is going to kill terrestrial radio. And now terrestrial radio is more technologically viable with streaming and all that than satellite is. Like satellite's going to have to fold up. Probably like by 2040, I don't think there will be satellite radio. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, Mr. Beat says, how is Sirius still a thing? Chad Buzamok says, don't you think you can blame the loss of money as much? More so the bloated salaries, such like Howard. Oh, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I'm not saying that's not what it is. I'm saying too much money going out, not enough coming in. Problem is their numbers are inflated. So they'll say they've got 34 million people, but what it is that new cars come with Sirius XM already in it. And when you buy that car, you get 90 days free. And people just let those lapse. Most people do. So those numbers are a little, they're a little fucky. For sure. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with another $2. Says O&A were never good. They just had all the best comedians on. There are no good O&A comps on YouTube. just compilations of great comics on their show. Fuck O&A even harder. Wow. I don't know. I thought they were good. I would listen to Opie and Anthony talk about just talk about like what was going on in the news and like debates and shit like that. I thought it was kind of interesting. But you're right. I mean, like one of my favorite O&A things of all time was when Patrice O'Neal got in a fight with Gallagher. Like Gallagher and Patrice got in an argument. I thought that was great. I still listen to that from time to time. Or Patrice's rant on what was it? Charlie Sheen. It was really good. Das Optic Nerve says the O&A CBS FM bit is brilliant. Yeah, it is. No, that one's really good, where Anthony's singing songs as an old-timey DJ. We ripped that bit off when we were on radio. I mean, not like ripped it off. We said like, oh, O&A used to do this bit where they would blah, 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 blah. And the audience would be like, well, you try it. You do this. And we're like, okay. Like I always, I've never said I'm an original. I'm an amalgamation of my influences, and I always give my influences credit whenever we do things like, oh, I got that from this. I think that's only fair. There's nothing more douchey than watching someone do something and pretend it's original when you're like, I can tell they used to listen to this show when they were coming up. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with another $2. Thank you for your generosity today, buddy. By the way, you guys are $2.50 away from hitting the quad today. Has Kiwi Farms looked into Stephanie Burns, Melton girlfriend, supposedly in 2014 to 2016? She appeared on Red Bar with him in 2014, and they had no chemistry. Check it out in the Scars Club archive. Okay. Taste Fairy Ialto said Sirius has had to put up new satellites, too. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about Sirius XM. I guess I'd have to Sirius XM stock price. How have they been doing? How's Sirius XM Holdings doing? Say in the last, should we go 5 years? Oh boy, that's not good. What was their high point? So back in 2020, like let's go past COVID. Let's go like 2021. They were at $62 a share. And now they are at 23, $40 a share. Fuck, what's their market cap? So the company's worth $8 billion. Oof. Their 52-week range is $22.18 to $57.80. And they're way closer to that $22.18. So that's maybe we're in the swan song. I don't know. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $2 says Anthony Cumia is a total fucking retard, and any Cumia fan must be even more retarded than him. Crazy. Wow, that's aggressive. Adam Simon gifting 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Adam Simon. Adam, I saw your Stonies certificate sitting on my dining room table today. I forgot to send yours out with the rest. I've got your contact information. I will send that out for you tomorrow. All right, you guys are 235 away from hitting the quad today. Like I said, the morning show stole your overtime by hitting your goal, but you guys are 235 away from the quad. It's kind of up to you. We'll leave it there for you. Sam Show says Melton's thread is still pretty new. Someone will dig that up if it means anything. Oh yeah, they're thorough. That's for sure. Stephen King says, like that win by 2 gay F word tries to be Red Bar in his mom's basement. Okay, but has John from Win by 2 ever pretended he wasn't trying to be Red Bar? Like, I've called him out for that numerous times. And he has changed his show based on my suggestions. Like I've said, stop trying to be exactly like Red Bar, change a few things up. And he has. But he's still, like, he can't help it. He's a Red Bar clone. And a bad one. I think Mike David used to be really good. I think when Mike David used to, like, when he used to find his own guys and, like, pick on them, I thought that shit was always really funny. But then Mike David kind of became like every other drama YouTuber, and he went for those clicks, and he started just going for the YouTube drama shit. That kind of, and then, of course, him getting sick. I mean, he just can't perform the way he used to. J. Brock Contrarian says, I liked Win by 2 for a minute. Then I realized I was watching Diet Red Bar. Yeah, and then like the other thing with Red Bar is Red Bar spawned a lot of babies. I think one thing you got to give Mike David credit for is a lot of people were influenced by Red Bar and they won't fucking admit it. Like when I was making fun of that chick from Iowa when we got fired by the radio, I was listening to a shit ton of Red Bar at the time, and I was doing shit that I thought Mike David would think was funny. And that, you know, you got to be honest when you're doing shit. Like sometimes you listen to someone too much and you start just taking on their characteristics almost by accident, like osmosis. You got to watch out for that kind of shit. But Red Bar birthed a lot of babies, and there's a lot of podcast babies out there that are Red Bar clones. And I think that's kind of that's watered down Red Bar's product in a way. J. Brock, I'm sorry, just left off on that one. Stephen King says, true, Aaron, I see what you mean. Stephen King, I don't like this you and I being cool thing. This is fucking me up a little bit. Stephen King's one of those guys who's been a steel toe hater for a long time. This happens all the time. Steel toe haters start turning and they accidentally start being really cordial with me, and it fucks me up a little bit. Weirds me out. I feel like it's all part of their plan. I don't know what to do. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with another $1 says, every Red Bar is the best episode yet. Don't try to be too cool for school, Aaron. I'm just stating my own personal opinion. My own personal opinion would be, I think Red Bar used to be better. Not good, not bad. Just an opinion. Yeah, JMB says that would happen if you hung out with someone a lot in real life, too. Yeah, absolutely. Chad Buzamak says, I never really got into Red Bar or heard about him until maybe 5 years ago. Tried listening to some clips of his on YouTube and just couldn't get into it. The same sound effect every 5 minutes. Well, yeah, there's some things that can be a little obnoxious. I think peak Red Bar was probably just before he got on Compound Media. I would say around that time when he was making fun of the Proud Boys and shit, I would say 2014 to 2016 Red Bar is probably peak. J-Bra says, I gave a compliment once and Aaron almost fainted and called me a gay F word. Never again. Well, looks like I fucked that one up. I'll try harder next time. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $5 says, your opinion is wrong, obviously. When are we getting Denny for a Rumble Friday? I'd love to have Josh Denny on the show. Thank you to Adam Simon for the gifted membership. I think if you guys can't tell, my voice is starting to go. I'm starting to get a little Wolfman Jack and voice cracky at the same time. You guys are 230 away from hitting the quad. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out with us tonight, doing this little show. North Carolina father. Oh, yeah. We got to. Oh, no, we don't want to do the titanium heart story. Fuck that. Let's just go to Lieutenant Dan. I want to do the Lieutenant Dan story, and then we'll get to all this other horse shit. All this other gay stuff that we've got. Let's do Lieutenant Dan first. Am I sure? I thought I had 5 clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have 5 Lieutenant Dan clips. Let's do this right. Hold on a minute. Let me open up all the Lieutenant Dan clips I have. Now, somebody gave me an update and said Lieutenant Dan has actually abandoned his boat and left Florida. That bums me out because I thought he was going to, ride the whole thing out. But let's check it out here. We got 5 clips. This is a guy in Florida who apparently has decided he's not going anywhere. He's going to ride out Hurricane Milton. And he's going to do it on his boat. He's not like going to hunker down at home like a fucking bitch. Like, he's going to lean in. And he's going to go out on his boat like nothing's changing. Let's go ahead and check this out. This Twitter says, to set this up here, they got a genius out there in Tampa Harbor planning to ride out Milton on a 20-foot sailboat. Well, there he is. They just call him Lieutenant Dan. And he's got both his legs. So I don't know how Lieutenant Danny that is. But we're going to find out a little more about this guy here in the next few minutes. We're going to become very intimate with Lieutenant Dan.
All right, Dan, the people that are new, explain to them why you're deciding to stick out a Category 5, one of the worst hurricanes in Tampa history, out on a 20-foot sailboat in Tampa Harbor.
My faith in God. I don't put my faith in man. God told me to come out here and get a boat. I came out here and got a boat. And
Wait a minute. See, this is what I don't like about really religious people. Like, really religious people who are also really mentally ill sometimes take their own thoughts and attribute them to God. And that's a problem because it's not doing very good things for God's reputation. So, like, this guy is not a guy that God is, working his magic through. This is a guy who hears voices in his head and goes, all right, God, sounds good. Like, would you believe that God told this guy to get a 20-foot sailboat and ride out a Category 5 hurricane? Or would you believe a guy who looks like this had a thought in his own head that told him to ride out a Category 5 hurricane in a 20-foot sailboat? I think it's probably the latter.
everything that he's been telling me over the last 2 days is I'm doing the right thing. He's got my back. I'm in good shape. I ain't sweating it. We're going to ride this one out. We got set up the way we know what we're doing. And as long as the water just keeps rising, we'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say, no, that's incorrect. And whoever this person is who's talking in your head, who's claiming to be God, you might want to check an ID.
Will you be wearing a life jacket?
Hell no.
Yeah, what is he, a gay F word? Come on, guys. Life jackets are for fucking pussies. What is this, a hurricane or some shit?
Are you going to be able to swim if it need be?
In circles.
Can you swim with one leg or what?
Yeah, I can float like a damn champ, but swimming.
You notice that Lieutenant Dan was trying to think of a thing that floats really well, and it's just the ad lib wasn't coming to him. But don't worry, God works his mysteries through Lieutenant Dan.
And I just go in circles.
So the plan's just to stick it out here?
Yeah, I mean, the water's going to come in, it's going to rise. If you're on land, it's going to flood, you're risking drowning. I'm in a boat. The boat goes up with the water, so even...
Ladies and gentlemen, marine biologist Lieutenant Dan. He's got it. He's got it figured out. Don't you worry.
Boat goes up 100.
I don't know what these retards sitting in their houses are doing. Your house is going to float away and get destroyed. My boat will just go up with the water. Why didn't I think of that?
100 feet in the air. I'm going to be up 100 feet in the air with the water. So it's really the safest place in the world to be is on my boat. And I got room for one more female.
Attaboy, Dan. Safest place to be during a Category 5 hurricane is on my boat because it'll go up with the water. Dan, have you ever heard of tipping over and capsizing? You know what? Never mind. I don't want to ruin your fun.
Give the people some words of wisdom out there.
Yeah, Dan, I can't wait to hear your words of wisdom.
Just, you know what to do. Just be safe. Don't do stupid shit.
You know, like get on a 20-foot sailboat. You ever been on a sailboat? If you shift your weight too quickly on a sailboat, it's tipping over. And that's in calm water.
And we'll all be all right. We'll be here, we'll be here tomorrow and the day after.
Perfect, man. Let's go one day at a time. Let's do it.
All right.
Dan looks like he's been at some meetings where they say one day at a time, which, by the way, are very helpful. And if you are facing addiction, please go to meetings. They are they've been helpful to a lot of people. They certainly can't hurt. Put it that way. Let's go say some thank yous. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $5 says, thanks for ditching Matt. I didn't ditch Matt. There's been no ditching of Matt. Is Chad dead yet? Hashtag Zumach watch. $5 from numero uno Josh Denny fan. I do not know. Ace with $4.99 says, Aaron, did you see the new Scott Peterson interview where he said it could be worse? I could be stuttering John. $1 from numero uno Josh Denny fan. I brought up Stephanie Burns to Melton, and he got real cagey about it. He made some crack about her being a lesbian. Very strange. Melton does not do well with confrontation. We've seen it with me. We've seen it with Jesse P.S. We've seen it with Chad Zumach. When he gets confronted, he gets nervous. He shut down that stream the other day with us because we were making fun of him. Chad Zumach called into his show, and he had to hang up because he was getting the shit beat out of him. He just doesn't. Jesse P.S. said, come on Imholt's show. I got the Zoom link. We can jump him. We can get in there. And as Jesse P.S. said, he would rather be on with a trans person and a potato. So, I don't know. Aside from owning Patrick Melton by the fact that he can't do a show without me, we've also owned Patrick on many different confrontational grounds as well. Ben Hagstrom with $5 says, when I got in trouble once and was almost canceled, well, I'm glad Aaron learned his lesson. Isn't that what I said, though? I said, clearly I didn't learn my lesson from all that. Thank you, Ben. 215 away from pulling the quad. Thank you guys for the opportunity to. Oh my God, I just almost muted myself trying to pin a message. Jesus Christ. Yes. 215 away from hitting the quad today. Thank you guys for being so generous, so nice. No link today, and you guys have still given us over $100. We appreciate that. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1 says, don't forget Stuttering John triple-lead him. That's true. He did. He went right to his house, and Melton cowered in his basement. So there's that. Jack says, Jesse P.S. also says Aaron is a lol cow. Well, everybody's a lol cow who talks into one of these. You know that. Jesse's a lol cow. People goof on Jesse all the time. But nobody's a bigger lol cow than my haters. We goof on them all the time. We have fun at their expense. We watch them go nuts, obsess about us every day. There's no bigger lol cow than a steel toe hater. And they are so much fun. I love you guys. Don't ever go changing just to please me. All right, let's go to, we got more Lieutenant Dan here. This clip is people checking in with Lieutenant Dan, whose real name is Joseph Malinowski. And as of 9:52 this morning, he said he was staying on his boat. Here's more Lieutenant Dan. This is a guy in Florida who said he's riding out Hurricane Milton on his sailboat.
Are you okay? Everybody's worried about you.
Who's worried about it?
It's all over TikTok.
Everybody, across the country.
I'm gonna go live in a minute.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'm gonna be fine.
I don't think people realize you're so close to down. I mean, you could just get off if something bad happened. You know what I mean?
I'm not going anywhere because the safest place to be is on a boat.
Yeah, guys, don't you know that when a raging hurricane is having giant waves crashing into docks and cities, that the safest place to be is on a really wobbly boat? God, what are you guys, fucking stupid? It's like none of these people can listen to Lieutenant Dan and hear him. I love how they're like, people don't understand. You can just get off your boat and walk off. He's like, what am I, gay? I'm not fucking doing that.
Flood. Okay, we learned that with Noah. Everybody that stayed on land drowned. Noah.
Oh, shit. Lieutenant Dan's going all Old Testament on him. Get him. L'chaim.
And the animals lived. So I'm fine.
Do you have any animals?
No, I wish I did.
Okay.
I could use 2 females.
Well, you got all the news crews right here during the storm, so.
Did he say just 2? They asked if he had any animals, and he said just 2 females. Sir, could you please unshackle them from the radiator? That would be nice.
You can just, if you need anything. Everybody's worried about you,
I know, everybody's worried about me. Everybody wants me to get off the boat. People don't. Being that I'm tied up to the cleat on the dock there, and secured in the concrete, which is.
Yeah. If I may, mind your own fucking business. The guy's doing what he wants to do. If he dies, he dies. He died doing what he loved. Working out his science experiments, like the safest place to be in a hurricane is on a boat on the water. I would argue that the safest place to be is Des Moines, Iowa right now, but, it's one man's opinion.
I have a secured anchor point. I'm tied to the boat. If the tide goes up, I go up. As long as the water stays out of the boat, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And the wind is, if it's not a tornado, it's not going to get lifted up and thrown into Kansas. Okay, it's not like that. I'm not suicidal, but I'm putting it in God's hands and taking it out of mine and man's.
All right.
So,
see, I love that Lieutenant Dan, clearly out of his mind, clearly has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. But I do love that he has the confidence to talk to us like we're all retarded. There's something about that I admire.
I'm sitting tight. I'm going to play it out.
Well, like I said, we're all right up here. So if you need anything, everybody.
God, I hate people like this. Leave him the fuck alone and let him create content. Like, this is what he wants to do. If you need us, we're here. You don't really give a shit about this guy. You're using him for TikTok and YouTube hits and Twitter hits. And you can kind of glob onto this guy and get some notoriety for yourself.
He's parked right here, okay?
I love you all, and I thank you for the concern. I'm not nutty. I'm just doing what my father told me to do, and I'm doing it, and I'm being me. I don't go with the grain. I'm against the grain because it's all just, you're all robots. You're all sheep following the masses.
Oh, shit. You hear that? He's calling us all sheep. What did we ever do to him? I'm a friend. I like him. I think he's cool. He's going to sit there and call me a sheep? God. Fine, Lieutenant Dan. Like, he's as cranky as the real Lieutenant Dan after he lost his legs.
And I'm the black sheep. I'm the one that does what I feel is right. And I don't care what anybody says or wants to do about it. I do what I think is right.
Is this Delonte West's brother?
God found me 10 years ago when I found him, and he's been my right hand all along. He told me to come here, I'm here. And I'm putting my life in his hands.
I love that you can see the rain pick up and the wind pick up, like the hurricane's literally coming in. You're going to see eventually these people start to back away. He's still talking. He's like, and God understands that you got to go from the root to the fruit. The king is returning back to his throne. And when you return to your throne, the throne bears fruit of the forbidden tree, which shall not be eaten, but those by the sinner. And those people are like backing away, and they're almost to the end of the dock, and he's still ranting.
I'm going to go home tonight. He's calling me over after dinner.
Well, we'll check on you, okay? We'll be up here and we'll check on you.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Stay safe. You got some time to rest. All right.
I only got about 2 hours sleep. Knocking on my window. Can I get a video? Can I get a video? No! Get the hell away from me.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan's talking about how he just yells at everyone and doesn't sleep. That really, surprises the shit out of me, to be honest with you. All right. They've got, this is last night, I believe. Oh, wait, nope, we're skipping this one. People say this was from last night where he had his boat out during a hurricane. Fact check, this is not from Hurricane Milton. This was initially posted on the 27th of September. Nope, not doing it. No, sir. This one is from 7:51 this morning. It's Lieutenant Dan refusing to evacuate his 20-foot sailboat. Oh, he does. Okay, so he does have one leg. Grand Poobah says, has anyone tried offering him some ice cream to get him off the boat? No, but to one person who offered to get him off the boat, he said, I'm going to heaven, Lieutenant Dan. And he looked at him and said, well, before you do, why don't you go down to the corner and get us another bottle of Ripple? Just looking to booze it up. I mean, if you're going to be on a 20-foot sailboat in a fucking hurricane, you'd better be shit-hammered, bro. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says, Milton made landfall directly in between Chad and Stuttering John. Who will win? Like, I have to root for one of the two of them to survive? Wow. You know what? This might surprise some people. I would say I hope Chad Zumach survives. I think Chad Zumach still has more entertainment to provide to the world. I think these people who have been doing this Stuttering John grift forever are fucking pathetic. I think if your whole thing has just been this one guy or watching other shit, like I can't accurately express how little respect I have for whatever it is you do. If that's all you're doing, it's fucking pathetic. It really is. And I don't care how many views you get. I don't care how much money you make. It's fucking easy. It's clown shoes, and you're not an entertainer. You're at best, you're a shitty documentarian, and you're not really adding anything to entertainment. And like, honestly, who are you shitting on? You're shitting on Stuttering John. You understand Stuttering John has accomplished more in his career than any of us ever will. So you're mocking a man who's more successful than all of us ever will be. Like, say what you want about the guy. He's a doofus, whatever. There's a lot of famous doofuses out there. But say what you want about the guy. He is a part of historic pop culture. Like, when people talk about the greatest radio programs of all time, they'll talk about the Howard Stern Show, and he'll be a footnote to that. When people talk about the greatest late night comedy shows of all time, they'll talk about Jay Leno right up with Carson and Letterman. And Stuttering John will be a footnote to that. So I've always found the whole Stuttering John thing to be, pathetic. Because it's a bunch of people who are nobodies ripping on a guy who's been somebody before. And it almost like every time I see a Carl or anyone else like make fun of Stuttering John, it feels like cope. It feels like are you trying to talk yourself into what you're saying? Because this guy's had more success than all of us. And if you can't admit that and you're going to act like you're above this guy, you're being a massive phony. McBuster says Chud Zumach is a buffoon. I don't know. I think Chad's honest about who he is. I think Chad's honest about the kind of content he does. I mean, I can see where you'd perceive him to be a prick. I mean, obviously he and I are never going to be friends, but I don't know. Again, I think he's harmless. Annoyed Wawa Supervisor says Cardiff Electric called into Jim and Sam today to try and make the Dabbleverse relevant, and it was genuinely the saddest thing I've ever seen. Ugh. Yikes. Jay Bra says, I find Chad funny sometimes. I've listened to Chad and laughed. When Chad and I were going back and forth on MLC and I was, we were fighting with each other. He had a few lines in there that I thought were good. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1 says, what the fuck, Toe? The SJ grifters have no bearing on Stuttering John himself. Zumach could never sustain a whole online economy, you fool. Maybe you're right. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, one more bad opinion and I might have to go watch Keanu, I swear. Dude, I saw that she had like 30 viewers yesterday. Maybe you should go help her out. Honestly. It's pretty bad. $210 away from you guys hitting the quad. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys getting, this close to the quad. On a night where we didn't ask for any money from you guys, you came up with over $100. I really appreciate that. And we got still got 25 minutes left. The Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, the links are all up there. And we'll give you 30 minutes extra if you do knock out the morning show's goal, but you certainly do not have to. We got one more Lieutenant Dan clip here, and then we'll move on from him. This is the one-legged man in Florida, and then we have an update after this. He's refusing to leave his 20-foot sailboat as Hurricane Milton prepares to make landfall. Uh-oh. What happened?
All right, Lieutenant Dan, the people have been asking to set you up a GoFundMe, so that's what I did. The link's in the bio. What do you want to say to everyone that's been supporting you along the way?
I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And if you're starting to GoFundMe, I'm going to tell you what the money is going to be used for. I'm upgrading. I need a bigger boat. I really want...
That's fucking hilarious. I thought he was going to go like, man, if you're starting to GoFundMe, that's great. Listen, all the money's going to go to hurricane relief and whatever. I love the honesty of Lieutenant Dan. He's like, look, if you guys are starting to GoFundMe, straight up, money's going towards me getting a baller-ass boat. Like, I'm going to upgrade this motherfucker. Like, he's literally saying, if you reward me for being the dumbest motherfucker in this hurricane, I'm going to get a crazy fucking boat, and then I'll run that one into a Category 5 as well. If he has insurance on that boat, might as well ride it into the hurricane like fucking Dexter in the finale, right? Go for it. I think the only thing that would make it more honest is if he went, honestly, if you guys have a GoFundMe, I'm going to spend it on booze and drugs. That's straight up. Dejois with 199 says, where's the $50K bonus since you canned April? We've been very transparent about that. Some went to Johnny, some went to Matt, and the rest, I'm sorry. April, still got a household budget, still got bills, and April did not account for a lot of the income or the expenditure in this home. So it went towards everything. We spread it out. We absorbed it into everybody and everything, and we gave back what we could. Dejois. I hope you're satisfied with that answer. I hope that wasn't a troll question because I did answer it in good faith. Thank you.
I want something like 35 foot. That was the last boat that I lived on. I only bought this because it was in my price range. I was on Social Security disability.
That right there angers me about America. Like, you've got people working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. They ain't buying a fucking boat. They don't have a boat that's in their price range. And you got this guy, he's like, I bought the 20-foot boat because it was in my price range. I'm on Social Security disability. And you have a price range for a boat? You understand that there's motherfuckers out there just working their balls off? And there is not a boat in their future. And here's this guy, I'm on Social Security disability. He's drinking a beer. He's tatted up like crazy. He's got himself a 20-foot sailboat.
After 22 years, and said I'm no longer disabled. I used to get a check every month. Now I don't get nothing. I have no income. And I'm being blessed every day where, like God says, our daily bread. Every day somebody will give me something so I don't go hungry, and I got everything. You know, it's just, God is good, and you people are all angels. So, you know, you're working for him.
I mean, you got the boat, so you can just jump in the water and wash yourself so you don't have to be stinky. That's kind of nice.
You ain't asking for much. Tithe your 10%. Instead of giving it to the church, give it to me.
Awesome, guys. If you want to help out, I put the link in the bio. Let's get Lieutenant Dan a new vessel here and get his sea legs back so we can get to buzzing again. Let's go, baby.
Hey. Well, do we have to say sea legs to the guy who's crippled? Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says what's hard to understand about the April thing is still staying in the household income. Seems there's little to no difference between paying her or not. Well, no. I mean, we brought Matt aboard. We doubled Johnny's pay. I mean, we fucking gave a lot of that money away. But then the bills didn't go away. Like, you know, April didn't, I'm not saying this to shit on her. She didn't bring much to the table in that regard. That's all. Basically, I took some of my money and paid her with it, and she stopped working at her job, essentially. So I'm glad we could straighten that up for you guys. Again, if you're being honest, you hear that answer, you go, okay, sounds good. If you're just trying to be a dick, then, you know, there's your answer. I've probably given that answer 5 or 6 times. I hope you found it educational. Let's go to this next one in Florida. Speaking of the hurricane, there's a lot of hurricane news out there. Apparently, there's this dog that's gone viral. Some asshole. I don't know why people do this. This is not the first time I've ever seen this. But people tie their dogs up in hurricanes. I don't know why. Wouldn't it make more sense to let the dogs and the animals fend for themselves rather than just tie them to something and make them bait for the hurricane? I never got that. It's a dick move no matter what. Like, even letting your dog go to just run away is still an asshole move. But tying it to something seems even worse. This is one state trooper, who found an animal abandoned in the rush to escape hurricane.
Philadelphia 1313, 1065 Signal 4.
Look at that.
But it's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Look at that. They tied him up to that fence as the waters are rising and the dog's about belly deep in water. Although that dog does look like a fucking problem.
It's okay.
Oh, he's already growling at him. Yeah, this dog's ready to fucking eat somebody. You know what? It's not okay to tie the dog up, but at the same time, this dog does look like a problematic guy.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't blame you.
I do. Now I'm starting to see why they tied the dog up. Now I'm starting to get it.
Blame you. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Fucking cop shoots him. Like, we know how cops and dogs are. Cop's like, I don't blame you, buddy. It's okay. Bang. Fuck. DS with $2 says, can someone explain the Dabbleverse to me? 60-year-olds obsessing about a 63-year-old. And it's really gay. Nerds trying to be cool. DS with $2 says, seriously, though, what am I getting myself into? Go do something else. It's just, you're going to get wrapped up in this really gay world. It's really dumb. Just, if you ask anybody in this chat, they'll just say, don't get involved in the stupid fucking Dabbleverse. It's so cringe. Trust us. Trust us. 2:05 away from pulling the quad, boys and girls, and giving yourselves a half hour of overtime that the morning show stole from you. Otherwise, we got 15 minutes and we're going to get the hell out of here. We appreciate it. Taste Fairy Ialto says it's gayer than AIDS. Dead Game checks out. Yeah, I mean, I know my shit. Let's go to, what were we doing after that? Oh yeah, the rest of the people. So the internet then found out about this dog. And the more we found out about this dog and the more this story kind of got shared, the more like famous people started finding out about this. Ron DeSantis, it ended up getting back to him, the governor of Florida. And he wrote, "Thank you, Florida Highway Patrol, Tampa. It is cruel for anyone to leave a dog tied to a post in the middle of an oncoming storm. Florida will hold anyone who mistreats pets accountable." Yeah, I mean, you could face charges for that, for sure. Animal neglect, that's some real shit. Like, what's the, here? Animal neglect laws, Florida. Florida has laws that include animal cruelty, misdemeanor, aggravated animal cruelty, third-degree felony, intentionally torturing an animal, fine of $2,500 and anger management. I would say you're looking at intentionally torturing an animal or aggravated animal cruelty. I think leaving a dog tied up and like in the path of an oncoming hurricane. I mean, that's as close as you're going to get, right? It's pretty fucking bad. Let's do, I'm sorry. We got one. I'm sorry. I fucked up. We've got one more Lieutenant Dan video. This is from about 11 o'clock today. Apparently the cops were trying to get him out of his boat and he was not having it. They brought the chief of Tampa police down to the pier to get Lieutenant Dan to fuck off. And this is how it went.
So tomorrow we're going to come back by. It's not a voluntary evacuation, so if you're still here, it might be an issue. Last night voluntary?
So they're telling him that tomorrow it's going to be an involuntary evacuation. So whether he wants to leave or not, they're telling him to get the fuck out.
All right?
Where are we going to go?
A shelter? I got 9 shelters that are open on your route.
They changed it to where it's not voluntarily mandatory. You come in. If I don't go, I'm going to be arrested.
It'll be tomorrow morning.
We'll see you then.
Wow. So they told Lieutenant Dan basically, if, you can go to a shelter. He's like, I don't want to go to a shelter. And he goes, so basically you're telling me if I don't go with you, you'll come back tomorrow and you'll make me leave. And they said, yeah. And it was actually kind of a baller thing. Stop it. A baller thing, he said. He went, well, then I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Shit. We got some news here. This is 2 minutes ago from ABC. We've got some news on the hurricane. Let's take a look.
Give us a sense of what you're experiencing on the ground.
Hey, Lindsay, well, I can tell you that ever since this storm, Milton, made landfall, the hurricane force winds, we can really start to feel it. We're inside a very secure, we're calling it a bunker, but it's a big parking structure where we've been set up. But
I love how this guy's literally like dodging shit. Like he's literally going like this. He's like, we're in a safe place. We're motherfuckers playing dodgeball.
Show you over the edge here. You can get a look at just these bands of rain that are coming down and the wind gusts. We've been seeing the palm trees bending in the wind, the sign across the street. We've actually seen some debris and some other stuff blow down the road here. Again, we're in a safe location. When the gusts pick up, we back up a little bit. But this is what officials have been warning about. We were here a couple weeks ago with Hurricane Helene. We knew that this would not just be a storm surge event, but also a wind event. And officials, I was actually talking to the fire chief earlier today, the fire chief of Tampa, who said that as the storm is hitting, which is right now, they cannot send their...
No shit. I've always wondered, like, do we have to have these guys there? Like in the age of drones and all this other shit, do we have to put these guys in the middle of a fucking hurricane to prove to us that it's bad? Like, it made landfall as a Category 3. And they're like, oh, let's go to the guy who we put in the middle of the rain. Who, like, okay, why don't you just tell us the guy got Me Too'd in the office and now he's got to take the hurricane gig?
Emergency crews out to save people. So if people are not in a safe place right now, they're pretty much on their own. This is why they were really encouraging people to get out and heed those evacuation warnings because of this combination of the rain, up to a foot of rain they were expecting in Tampa. That historic storm surge, even beyond what we had with Helene a couple of weeks ago. And now we're really seeing these powerful hurricane force winds. Here comes another band right now. But just to give you a sense of what we're dealing with in here, I'm going to show you around. This is the parking garage because people have asked, you know, how are you all set up here? That's Jacqueline, our correspondent down the way. But you can.
So why can't everyone just go into a parking garage or something? Like, you guys are fine in the parking garage. They told everybody to evacuate, and if you haven't evacuated by now, you're on your own. I mean, yeah, sure, you're on your own. But, like, some people don't want to evacuate. Some people want to ride it out. And you guys are sitting here. Like, that's, like, to me, that's the weirdest part about having news people cover the fucking storms, is that you're sitting there shitting on the people who didn't leave, but you're there. Why doesn't everybody just go to the parking garage you're in if it's so safe?
See as the wind is coming in, and if you come back through here, I'm just going to turn it this way a little bit. You can see it's a fortified parking garage where we're all set up back here. I'll take you back out this way, Lindsay. One of the things that we learned today is, you know, a lot of people here in Tampa, they're accustomed to storms, they're accustomed to flooding. This is an area that floods all the time. But we spoke with a lot of people who were shocked and surprised by what they experienced with Hurricane Helene. So when they started getting the warnings to evacuate, they heeded those warnings. We talked to a number of people.
Well, yeah, because they know that when the hurricane rolls through and starts tearing down people's houses, that the government ain't going to fucking help them. What did they give them, like $20-some million in the Carolinas? And then Peter Doocy asks KJP, like, hey, I know we just gave $100 million to Lebanon. Can we reach a little deeper and give some money to the fucking hurricane victims, or is it too much of a swing state in a red district? She's like, how dare you? That's misinformation. He's like, no, it's not. You've given these people $25 million and then said you need Congress to do more, but you just unilaterally gave Lebanon a fuck ton of money. How does that work?
People who did not evacuate with the last storm, but they did this time. The city of Tampa Bay had to open a number of shelters to get everybody to a safe place. More than 13,000 people are sleeping in a shelter tonight. We spoke to a number of families who said, look, we're familiar with hurricanes, grew up in this area, but we're not taking any chances. And we're seeing the impact right now as these bands continue to pick up. Lindsay?
Glad to hear that people are heeding those warnings. Interesting, at least at this point, that the electricity is still on right there where you are.
I have a question. I don't mean to downplay these hurricanes. Like, we have tornadoes in Minnesota. We have thunderstorms. We don't really have anything as crazy as a hurricane. But, like, if you're in a high rise, like, hurricanes aren't knocking down big concrete buildings. Like, if you're in a high rise, if you're in an apartment, why not hunker down and ride it out? Like, what's the worst that can happen?
And we know that about 800,000 customers across the state are without power at this hour. What are you hearing from the residents there who just got through Helene, now dealing with Milton?
I mean, many of them are just exhausted, Lindsay. I mean, we talked to a few people who...
That guy isn't exhausted. He's screaming his fucking head off at you.
Or even...
It's probably Lieutenant Dan.
Thinking about leaving Tampa and moving away altogether. They've just had enough. They've had a number of evacuations almost every year for a variety of different big storms and hurricanes that have come through. And this time, especially after Helene, it caused so much damage.
I don't know. The way this guy's reporting it doesn't make me too impressed by hurricanes. And again, I live in Minnesota, so what the fuck do I know? I get it. But the way this guy's reporting it from his little parking bunker, I don't know. Hurricanes kind of seem like bullshit to me.
Damage.
I feel more scared of earthquakes and tornadoes.
So much flooding to then for those same families to pack up and leave their homes all over again. Actually, we got another gust coming in, Steve, if you want to just take a look over here. I mean, people... Sorry, Lindsay, just picking up on that point. Just wanted to show you the power of some of these gusts coming through. But to pick up on that point, people are exhausted. They're tired. They're hoping that this isn't as bad as what was forecasted. We'll wait to see what happens with the surge. Obviously, this storm heading further to...
Ooh, they got a tornado watch in their hurricane? That's actually pretty fucking rad.
The south, whereas Helene went to the north. So there may be a different impact when it comes to the storm surge and the flooding, but no doubt this is going to cause a lot of damage.
Yeah, we can.
All right, well, there's your update on Hurricane Milton as it makes landfall in Florida tonight. Let's go to Grand Poobah with $2. Says, how much fun would it be to be the on-the-ground reporter in the middle of a hurricane and just totally no-sell it? You guys go, yeah, I mean, it's raining a little here. It's a little windy, too, but, like, I don't know. I've seen worse. You know how quickly you'd be fired? Like, because the media wants you to play this up as like, oh, my God, this is terrible. This is incredible. And the guy goes, I mean, it's a little bit of stinging rain, a little bit of sideways rain, but ultimately, nothing we haven't seen before. Back to you. Jayfish says, your hat is on your head. You spotlighted the wind behind you. Gay. Dead Game says, they roll up out of the Gulf and come at us every year. Aaron, there's been several tornadoes on the ground. Really? Wow. Tornadoes and hurricanes. Like, that's like rapture shit to me. Jayfish says, oh my God, a gust. Grab your pearls. That is Tampa. They are used to gusts. Yeah, I saw an apartment building across the way from where that guy was. There were a bunch of lights on, like people just riding the thing out. They act like these people are so fucking crazy for riding it out, but it's like 120 mile per hour winds. I mean, it's not going to send a log through your head or anything if you're on the 14th floor. Fuck it. Ride it out. Well, what if they lose power? Keep your fridge closed. It'll come back on. Get a fucking Jenny, dude. Mr. Beat says, if you're on higher ground, you have a generator and no trees fall on your house, it's not a big problem. See, I hear that. I get it. Number $5 from numero uno Josh Denny fan says, R.I.P. Fat Zumach, hashtag Team Milton. Milton, he said. Well, guys, you got within $200 of the quad today. Thank you very much. $200 away. The morning show audience will really appreciate what you did for them after they stole your half hour of overtime by completing your goal for you. Bastards. Dirty bastards, the whole lot of them. We got what, 4 minutes left? I drink that Bloody Mary. Now I got plugged up sinuses. What the fuck is that all about? I'm going to go watch a movie after the show's over here. It's called, God damn it. Now I forgot. It's on Amazon Prime. Blink Twice, I think it's called. I'm going to go watch that. Blink Twice. Thriller suspense movie. Zoe Kravitz, Channing Tatum, Haley Joel Osment. It looks fucked up, dude. I'm excited to go check it out. Apparently there's going to be some dying. There's going to be some weird shit. There's going to be some hallucinations. I'm in. What do they say? Ooh, wow. Rotten Tomatoes has it a 74 and the audience has it at a 70. Oh, shit. It's very rare to find a really good thriller movie now. You know? They don't have a lot of good thrillers anymore. So if they got a certified fresh thriller for me, I'm down. Let's do it. Somebody saying in the chat, sounds gay. You haven't even seen the trailer for it. For God's sake. And it sounds gay already. I'll go check that out. Then we got a show for you tomorrow, which you guys got. Again, our last goal of the day. You got it down to 200. You guys are the best, man. Awesome. We missed last night. And when we missed last night, the morning show audience came up huge for us, which was great. And now you guys have helped out the morning show audience quite a bit. Sorry about them stealing your overtime. There was nothing I could do. They wanted to give us shitloads of money because we were doing a great show. I'm not going to stop them. Von Kaiser with $10 on PayPal. Appreciate that, buddy. Looks like 190 is what they're looking at. Wow, you really spoiled those guys. 190 is the number you're giving the morning show crew. All right, guys. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night. If you live in Florida, don't die. Dying would be really hack. Dying in a hurricane is a really hack way to go. I'll let you know how the movie goes tomorrow morning. We'll be back at 6. Just went to throw myself a Sharpie and whoop, fucked it up. I'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. We'll talk to you then. I'll get whatever the hell this is cleared up by then. Take it easy and stay safe.